There's a lovely word, tradition, and it's handing over by example the gifts that you have received to another generation.
When you support Geneseo, your gift is leveraged. A student that has an extraordinary experience that shapes his or her life, and they go on to do great things in better society.
Geneseo is focused on preparing young men and women for a life of purpose.
With his concern for the state's future, Greg O'Connell epitomizes the model citizen studied by Geneseo students in their humanities core courses.
I always go back to Geneseo. It's been a route for many different aspects and decisions that I've made through my life. Professor Manley was an English professor. English was my worst subject.
He got a B in the course. He wanted to be a policeman. He knew that he also wanted to be a developer of real estate that was meaningful to the community.
One of Greg's remarkable accomplishments as a real estate developer is the revival of the Red Hook area of Brooklyn.
I think, quite frankly, the city's fathers and mothers had pretty much given up on Red Hook having any real potential. They didn't figure on Greg O'Connell. He is truly a visionary in our time.
And now he has set another goal for himself, to bring his revitalization efforts to our neighbor, Mount Morris, New York.
I think what we have to do in America, we have to go back to our foundation, and it starts on Main Street.
I wanted to just go over the copy for the website. I'm the Main Street manager for Mount Morris. My internship is funded by Greg O'Connell.
I really like what you do with the logo.
The donation that Greg O'Connell made was to my public relations classes so that we could conduct field work in Mount Morris.
You know, what's money to be used for when you really think about it? It's to be put back into something that you believe will have a benefit. I can walk into any situation, no matter where it is, and I can feel comfortable. Geneseo teaches you all of that through relationships and trust. My hope is that what we learn here in Mount Morris and what we've been able to develop here in Mount Morris, that we can share that with every village throughout America.
The future of this community is up, the future of Red Hook is up, and it's because one guy from Brooklyn decided to go to SUNY Geneseo.
They will get experiences here that will shape their lives forever and will cause them to go on and do great things.
I have a question. In my freshman year, I took a class with Dr. Maria Lima. And I remember the first day of class, she came in and she asked the class, who here considers themselves a shy person? And I raised my hand.
And in the first week she's quiet, the second week she's quiet.
I was afraid that maybe something I said would be the wrong thing.
So you have an answer to that?
She's acknowledged by her real name.
And then I see that hand, and Carisha came to voice.
I have grown tremendously as a scholar and a leader. English professor Maria Lima, for example, made me realize that my opinions matter.
What's the plan for law school? Will you be doing public interest law? Is that a specialty?
Carisha, I met in spring 2009 when she enrolled in my Hurricane Stories class.
That's more or less when the light bulb went off for me, that I wanted to get into a career where I would be helping others, that I wanted to do public interest law.
Dear Mrs. Rocha, thank you very much for sponsoring the David Brown Memorial Annual Scholarship.
She endowed a scholarship to the school, which I was a beneficiary of last academic year.
Carisha Hawthorne. I'm not a wealthy person, but it was not difficult for me to give because I feel strongly what I'm doing.
I wanted to meet you.
There have been times here at Geneseo where I wasn't sure whether or not I would be able to continue my education, but due to scholarship funding, I have been able to, and for me, I'm just appreciative of that.
Any sense of why Dante changes the tone so radically?
Without private support, we're not able to do many of the special things that we do uniquely as a public liberal arts college.
The support that we get from the state is dwindling.
They look really good.
Today, less than 20% of our budget comes from state tax dollars. So we rely on our friends to help support the innovative things, the really exciting things that we're doing at this campus.
That donor support told me that there were people behind me.
I grew up in Berlin, New York, which is a lumber mill town, and my father was a lumberjack, and my mother was a housewife. I was the first kid in my family to ever go to college.
I started the squash rackets program at Geneseo, and Joe was a member of it.
We were a ragtag bunch of kids, and we would go to these really kind of posh clubs in Rochester.
He always made sure I had a racket. He always took care of me.
His mission was to mold young men and women into gentlemen and gentlewomen.
It's how you play the game that matters. It's how you study and what you make of it that matters.
John Hoey would use squash as a teaching moment. So when you got done, you're like, well, wait a minute. This is bigger than what I thought it really was. And I thought that was pretty special. I set up a scholarship in the name of Dr. John Hoey. It was a way to recognize what was given to me in the past. And, it's something I'm really proud of. Sorry to get emotional, but it's an emotional thing for me. It's something you dream about.
It seems like we tend to care about things a lot more. The people that I know who've been graduates just do good things.
Their stories are our stories, told every day in the work we do and the people we influence. By supporting this campaign, we can ensure that Geneseo will always be known for shaping lives of purpose.
Geneseo has always been special for me.
Geneseo definitely made an impact in my life, and I want to say thank you to Geneseo in whatever way I can.
At this time in my life, to be able to come back here and be part of a community again. It was a place I guess I never really left.